Puggle Farm has been our home and hearth for many years now. But since buying a second farm 20 minutes away, it's proved a bit much to have to commute between them. So the time has come to sell Puggle Farm and to move full-time to Fat Pig Farm. But leaving is harder than we thought. We're just packing up to the house. This is the last day in Puggle Farm. We have to find places for everything in these boxes and then clean up and go. I'm pretty sad about it. Are you?
I'm actually really surprised how emotional I am about this move, because this was your and my first home and your and my and Headley's first home.
Sadie and I built a new life here, far away from the city. It's nearly 7 years since I bought Puggle Farm, and I think if I knew how little I understood about farming and growing stuff, I probably wouldn't have bothered. I feel like I've come so far and learnt so much. It's upside down. Oh, it is? Oh, is that how it goes in? This place is really soaked into my soul. Like, this is where I learnt about how to nurture vegetables from the ground, how to milk a cow.
This is amateur hour in the milking shed.
Whoa.
I can't get a single drop out of her.
This first lamb was born there on a very frosty winter's night. And we were there to watch the birth.
Holy moly, look at that. Oh, look, she's licking it.
Did a lot of things wrong here, but did a lot of things right.
It's really yummy.
I think that it's remarkable how often you can succeed, even if you're a bit hopeless. And to be honest, I am sometimes a bit hopeless. But we've done remarkably well considering. We've managed to feed ourselves and have surplus that we can share with other people. I think that's probably the great joy I take from this place, is what I've learned. We're taking our hard-won knowledge to this property, our much larger Fat Pig Farm. We've got big plans for its 70 acres, but our first problem, our new home doesn't have a house, which means we have to find somewhere to live. My name is Matthew Evans. I was once a food critic living in Sydney. Now I'm a pig farmer in country Tasmania. Life in the country has taught me a lot about food production, with many challenges along the way. And now we're embarking on our most ambitious project yet. We want people to experience how we live and taste the food we eat. So we're building a restaurant right here on the farm. From critic to farmer to restaurateur, how hard can it be? It's going to take at least 6 months to build our new house, giving me the opportunity to realise a lifelong dream. I have this romantic notion of childhood holidays. When we were young, if you really cashed up, you wouldn't stay in a tent, you'd stay in a caravan. And just down the road, I bagged a bargain, and it's ready to be picked up from a friend's place. Look at this. Solar-powered, modern. It's got its own awning. Probably a bit insulated. That's not the caravan I'm getting, though. I think this is the one I've bought. Oh, this looks perfect. Fantastic. Oh. This actually reminds me very much of my childhood. I think this is probably the sort of caravans we had back then, too. Oh, plenty of room. Headley, Sadie and I. Sadie'd be stoked. I'm sure she'll love it as much as me. After all, it's a short-term saving solution for our long-term aspirations across Fat Pig's 70 acres. Right. Looks good. Our plan is to first build a 2-bedroom house, a simple, compact, environmentally friendly build. Then, the real investment, Fat Pig Kitchen. A commercial kitchen and restaurant where people come from all over for a taste of our life and to experience the simple concept of food grown straight from the same soil. This is going to be the beating heart of Fat Pig Farm. This is where we're going to put the commercial kitchen. Going to have a dining room here, build a wood-fired oven at the back. The house, we're going to put the house way up the top there. So when you're sitting here in this dining room, you'd be able to look out and go, that's where the vegetables came from, that's where the pigs came from, that's where the milk came from, that cow. When you sit up here and you look up the valley, the gully, as the locals call it, you'll know that 90%, at least 90% of what you're eating has come from within our fence line, from the boundaries of the farm. This is one of my favourite spots on the whole place.
Fat Pig Kitchen will be a massive undertaking, but one we think we're ready for.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Do you like it?
It's not somewhere I ever pictured myself living.
I know, I surpass all your expectations, don't I? Well, I thought you'd be impressed. I knew you always wanted to be married to a pig farmer, and I knew it was always your secret ambition to live in a caravan. Come and have a look inside, it's pretty special.
Yeah, all right.
Just mind the bucket. That's just a little bit because the roof leaks.
Oh, great. All right. Well, you took some time to deck it out.
We've got all the cooking gear, so it's like a home away from home. In fact, it's like a holiday house.
The house is going to take 6 months to build, a long time to live in a caravan. But on the plus side, I love the simple delights of camp cooking, so time to settle in.
I'll do a little snack for Sadie. They're called Welsh cakes. I'm Welsh background, and I thought that might be nice. Something to celebrate coming to the caravan. Can't find my scales. I'll do everything the way everyone else does with cups.
Welsh cakes originate from Wales from a time before home ovens were common. They're usually baked on hot stones or iron griddles, and they're packed with long-lasting dried fruits, which stored well over Welsh winters.
So these are pretty much like a fried scone or a thick cake batter, really.
They look nice. Is this your mum's recipe?
Yeah, got it from my mum.
I have to say, it's nice to be here, to actually live on the farm.
The dog likes it.
Yeah.
What'll be even nicer is a new house to live in. So far, all we've got is a cleared building site, but hey, it's a start. At first light, my chooks are the last to move to our new home on Fat Pig Farm. I reckon if I make their coop nice and cosy, they'll settle easily into their new home.
Here we go, guys. So what I want to do is the chickens can obviously sleep in there, but they want to come out during the day and muck around outside. They can come out through this hole into this enclosed area, but I need to stop predators, quolls essentially, or maybe even eagles coming in.
To do this, I'm going to make a roof using old orchard netting. As the ground gets worked up by the chooks, we can expand it as necessary.
Nice to see them pecking on fresh ground and have them over here, but that's enough for today.
With the chooks settled into their patch, it's time to turn my attention to other corners of the farm. Originally, this was all apple country. We only wanted to keep a small orchard though, but these few remaining rows were in dire need of some TLC. A few years back, a local orchardist, Tony Hammond, taught me how to revive the orchard by grafting twigs cut from other apple trees.
We have to seal it off so no air and no moisture can get in there.
The transformation has been incredible, and we now have multiple varieties of heirloom apples in the one orchard.
So this tree here, where we cut it off, you can actually see this was chainsawed off about here, and these are the grafts, and they've actually grown really well. And they're now, I don't know what that is, 12, 15 foot in the air.
It's now the end of the apple season, so Sadie and I need to harvest what's left.
What's this one?
Kids Orange Red.
Kids Orange Red.
And I reckon
So that
that of the apples that fruited this year, this is the pick of the bunch. It's a
flavour.
late eating apple,
Delicious.
but I think it's going to be really good in cider too.
The plan is to turn our end-of-season apples into some amazing apple cider.
That's sensational. It's almost like it's been dipped in rose water or something.
All right.
Oh,
Cut me a slice.
see that?
Oh, yeah.
So that, about as perfect as it can get off the tree.
Our bags are full,
Look, we need another sack.
and it's time to make some cider. At this time of year, right across the apple aisle, everyone's making cider. So our neighbour George and his handmade apple mincer is a hard man to pin down.
Hello, George.
Hello, Sadie.
How are you?
Really well, thanks.
Yep.
Got some apples to do?
Hey, mate. Thanks for this.
In the back is the much sought after mincer.
Whoa, this is beautiful. So is that an old mower blade?
It is an old mower blade.
It is, right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's out of an old push mower.
Yeah.
And it makes short work of apples.
Chop
Right,
them
we ready, gang?
Yep. So that goes into the press. Wow, that is
that.
quick. That is unbelievably quick.
So this is definitely an outdoor job.
Isn't it ever?
Once minced, it's into George's equally beautiful apple press.
We've got half a bucket and we haven't even pressed it.
Feels quite medieval, especially compared to the electric motor version.
Ready, Sadie?
Yep. Help.
Didn't feel a drop, you two.
Not a drop.
Very good.
We're a team.
The pure apple juice will ferment into cider and the leftovers will go to the pigs. We're going to make 2 batches of cider with different yeasts. The result will be 2 different tasting ciders. We'll make one batch purely with the apple's naturally occurring yeast, known as wild yeast. And to the other, we want to add a champagne yeast, a standard yeast, that should result in a more consistent flavour.
Oh, you mix it with water first and then you put it in by the looks of the...
Mix it with water.
Yeah, 50 mils, it says on the back here.
I thought it was from champagne. Is that what they do to make champagne? Just add water? George, do you know how much yeast you're supposed to put in?
No idea, but I'd just tip it straight in.
Just tip it in and hope for the best. Pray to the cider gods.
Last but not least, an airlock to let the gas out so the demijohns, the glass bottles, don't explode.
Yeah, give me a hand with this and we'll
Sure, Matt.
just get them up to the shed at least.
No worries. Oh, some weight in these.
If all goes according to plan, this will be the cider we serve at the opening of our restaurant, Fat Pig Kitchen. And seeing as we've got a bit left over, I reckon it's a great excuse to make some dumplings in apple sauce.
It's really weird how sometimes some dishes, apple in particular, goes with a savoury spice like pepper. But these pepper berries are like pepper but slightly different, more complex, almost like allspice berries. This is our own butter. This is just like when you're making pastry. You rub a little bit of butter into the flour and it just keeps the dumplings a little bit shorter so they're not quite as chewy. I don't want this to become a bread dough or something, so I'm really just mixing it till it comes together. And then I'm going to tear bits of it off into the sauce when I finish the sauce. Rightio. Just use my bush sink. Perfect.
For the syrup, some of my hand-churned butter and a dollop of honey from our own hives.
Look at that. Oh, delicious. It's almost a crime to cook with it. I could just drink that. It's like virtually all my favourite things in one pot. Right, it's boiled down, it's boiling rapidly, so I just want to get these dumplings put in. You want to work reasonably fast so they all cook at about the same time.
And topped with some fresh cream from Elsie, our dairy cow.
Wow, I'm really happy with that.
That is so good.
1 second.
Absolutely.
Hang onto your spoon and I'll fix it up.
A few weeks later, there's not been much progress on the house, but there has been with the cider, and it's ready to bottle.
So pick that up somehow.
Pour it into my jug. Although we could drink this now, there's one more step to make a fizzy cider. Another burst of sugar needs to be added to give it some fizz. And what could be more sugary than pure fresh apple juice? Well, I've got some apple juice from a local juicer. So I'm just going to add, I don't know, about 10%, slightly less. Give that a stir. To be honest, I've never done this before. I just talked to some local cider makers who said that's the way to do it. So I'm really hoping the bottles don't blow up. Fat Pig's first batch of cider. It's great to be finally living on the farm. It's only a short walk to do the morning chores. And I'm particularly keen to check on a new litter of slips, 2-week-old piglets. I was pretty worried yesterday. They found their mother, but I couldn't find these guys anywhere in the long grass. And I'd seen a wedge-tail on the back of a sheep on the neighbour's property. 4 wedge-tails flying over the valley this week. I was worried that the piglets might have been taken by a wedge-tail or at least frightened away. Anyway, they're all here, safe and sound. I love all the smells and sounds of farm life, but today it's the sound of a drop saw that's stolen my heart. Because it means the house is finally underway. Tonight, to celebrate this milestone, my good mates Nick and Ross are coming around for a farm feast. And Elsie, my dairy cow, is going to provide one of the vital ingredients. I want to make some Haloumi cheese, which is it's a cooked cheese. I've never made it before, and you actually make it a curd, and like you'd normally make curds, you cut it up and form the cheese, press it. And then you poach the cheese in the whey. I'm using this stuff called junket. It's a form of rennet. Rennet is the thing that makes curds and whey. I've warmed the milk up, but I don't want it to get too hot before adding the rennet, or it won't set. So you want it to be as still as possible till it sets, otherwise it won't set properly. It looks just like milk, but it's actually become curd. So it has actually set. This is called cutting the curds. It happens in cheese making all the time. There's a piece of curd, and around it is this watery whey, and the more you cut it, the more whey you get out. So if you wanted to make a really hard cheese, you'd cut it into tiny bits. If you want to make a soft cheese, you cut it into bigger bits. Then, I'm actually going to drain it through a cloth. Just fold that in, and you can see it's already started to knit together. Putting a little pressure on it will press the curds into a solid mass, ready to poach. I reckon that's pretty good. This is the weirdest cheese making ever, where you poach a cheese. I've eaten the end result, and it's delicious when other people have made it. I'm hoping mine's going to be as good. Apparently, it's a bit like gnocchi. It tells you when it's ready, because it rises to the surface. And I should have some halloumi. At least 4 to 8 hours in the brine, and it'll be ready to cook. There it goes. So, thousands of years of cheese-making expertise was right. It does float. Whoa. And into the brine. Perfect, just sliced up, put it on the barbie. With the house now underway, and the architect finishing off plans for the restaurant, who better to help us celebrate this new phase of our life than my good mates, Nick and Ross.
How you going?
Hey, good, very good.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you, mate.
So how's it all been going living in the caravan you've got there, mate? All good?
Yeah, it's pretty good. We have to go and stay elsewhere sometimes because it's
Okay.
cold,
Yeah,
and it drips. You might be able to see a bucket just in there.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, mate.
Is that you, Nick?
How are you,
Sits on top of
boys?
your head.
How you going? You
I'm
well?
great. Nice to see you.
Good to see you. What's going on? Yes. What, just because I've been to the abattoir, mate? Come on.
Hello, mate.
He looks a bit rough, doesn't he? He said he's got to change your clothes in the car.
How are you?
That's it.
You all right?
As a dress rehearsal for the eventual opening of Fat Pig Kitchen, our dinner tonight consists only of what is grown or reared on our land. So we'll head first into the garden, which under Sadie's stewardship has really blossomed.
Baby artichoke.
A couple of broadies there.
It's coming along really well. Just get a few.
Anyone feel like a cider?
That'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'll have you guys peel the broad beans while I go get it. And I reckon it's the perfect opportunity to trial the new apple cider. One with the wild yeast and one with the champagne yeast.
Really?
Wild.
What?
Jesus.
Oh! That one is wild.
Would you like some, Sadie?
There's nothing funny about that.
Oh, that's it.
Oh, you
Do you have it? Jesus.
Next time, don't point it at me. Point it at him.
Oh, this one's better. Oh, Jesus.
No, it's not.
Did you bring anything to drink?
That's the wild. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, good. I can tell. I'm wearing
You
it.
wore most of it. Yeah.
Well, the big drama about that, I could open them over a bucket, but these are actually supposed to be when we actually build the restaurant and open it. This is actually the launch drinks.
Be like a boat launch.
I think it might be able to be like a boat launch. Well, that was a good thimbleful of cider. Best we move on to dinner. We have some of our own beef, fresh beans from the garden, and my homemade halloumi. I never made this before, Nick. This cheese.
Neither have I.
Haven't you?
Never made halloumi.
Much to our relief, Sadie has managed to find the last of our own homemade, low-hanging fruit Pinot Noir.
Oh, hey.
Oh, the halloumi looks good.
It's like the real thing.
It is. It's all kind of gone all nice and caramelly on the outside and all those lovely crispy bits.
That's not bad for a first attempt.
I like it.
Good, mate.
That's got that real salty,
Really
squeaky halloumi.
Although we've got a long way to go before we're serving our cider and cheese in Fat Pig Kitchen, it's nice to get a taste of what it'll be like here with our mates.
This feels really you. Like this feels like a very grown-up step forward.
What,
Kinda
sitting outside a caravan at nearly 50 years old? Whoa, I've got a caravan.
I'm regressing,
Yeah.
getting back to my youth.
Yeah, not that bit.
Having the support and confidence of our close friends really helps.
That beef's beautiful.
Right, beautiful.
Delicious, isn't it?
It's an exciting yet daunting time.
Well, guys, good luck. I hope it's a roaring success.
Yeah, thanks,
I know how much work it's going to be.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So, Jonathan, I was really interested in how you're going to make me money.
That'll be the challenge.
Silver skins are also typically very spicy. You don't want to bite into it.
This is probably my favourite day